Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the US, and I am coming to you live on Facebook. I'm very excited. I have some fun products to show you. Today was the first day of the Holiday Catalog Kickoff. So the 2019 Holiday Catalog began today, which means you can order from it. Some really awesome stuff in there. So as I am preparing to get my live going with all of you, first of all, I just want to mention that there's some loud noises outside my window. My window is right next to me when I broadcast. Good morning, Catherine. And so you're going to notice, I'm glad you joined me, by the way, you're going to notice, possibly notice some sounds going on. I think someone's blowing out their sprinklers or something. And it might be that I'm the only one that can hear it. Yay, more are joining us, Catherine. There's Deborah and Rhonda and Vicki and Faith. Hi, all of you. There's Mary Jo, Rhonda, Deborah, some very familiar names. I love seeing you guys coming back to join me. This is awesome. Happy Catalog Kickoff Day, yes. So the beauty, by the way, of live broadcasting is that we get to interact like I'm doing now. So post your comments, questions, tell me about your stamping experiences, when you started stamping. Tell me where you're from. I love hearing where you're from. It's fun to get to know you. And so if you're commenting afterwards, please know that I will probably see the comments then as well. In fact, I try to be really good and read the comments and respond to a few of them before my next live broadcast. But time to admit something, I haven't had a chance. I've been trying. I saw a few from last week and just didn't get to read most of them yet, but I promise that I will eventually. Hopefully, if you have a question, you will private message me so that I can respond to that right away. So on that note, glad that you're here, glad that you're interacting. I have some new products to share with you. I'm going to share with you our new mini Curvy Keepsakes box, as you could see from the title of this broadcast. Sandy just placed her order. Awesome. Hi, Heather. Oh my gosh, how are you? I'm so glad that you're on with us all the way from Texas. This is awesome. So these cute little boxes are so adorable. We used to have another Curvy Keepsakes box, and it required two different pieces of paper or cardstock combined together. So you actually had to put two pieces together to assemble the box. This is a mini Curvy Keepsakes box, so you just have to cut it once and you're ready to assemble it. It's awesome. And so I'm going to try to make two while we're doing this broadcast. By the way, those of you that have not joined in on these live broadcasts before, and I'm seeing lots of familiar names. This is so awesome, you guys. Hi, Patty. Hi, Julie. Hi, Karen. If you will make sure that you comment if you've shared, if you have questions, that sort of thing, you're going to get entered into a prize drawing. And I have prizes from last week. This is the prize that I'm drawing from the rest of the people that commented on last week's broadcast. This is our Magnolia Blooms stamp set that's in our Inspire Creativity catalog. And then this week, you get a choice, because there's always two winners. And so even the second winner is going to get a choice. And they are stamp sets from the holiday catalog that just debuted. So I'm giving you a peek now so you can see what you're in for if your name is chosen, okay? So let's dive in. Yay, 20 to 25 years, that's awesome, Pauline. She's telling me about how long she's been a crafter. Okay, so let's get the cameras set up. Actually, I'm going to share with you this one first. This is the supply list that you will need if you want to recreate the two boxes that I'm going to share with you during this broadcast. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably seeing a recording of it, because I do share it on YouTube later on so that those people who aren't on Facebook get a chance to view this great video of ideas as well. I call it a great video of ideas because I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with you. I'm not trying to brag, sorry. All right, so then let's see. Make sure that you take a screenshot of that. There's two different boxes. There's the pumpkin box that I'm going to do, and then there's a spider web box. And I'm not going to go too much in detail. Just go ahead and take a screenshot. I'll also share a list of these products on my blog, and my hope is to blog about these in 2 days rather than 3. I'm trying to get closer together. So by Friday morning, you should be able to visit my blog at stampyourartout.com, and you'll be able to see the link to the video. You'll be able to see the supply list, photos, close-up photos. All right, so on that note, I think that we need to get started. I'm gonna first set up the computer, my camera on my desk, because we wanna make sure that, there we go. Okay, now you can see, and we're gonna get that off the screen. Okay, I've got my supplies in front of me. I'm gonna tilt the camera just a little bit there. Now we've got it centered. Okay, yay! All right, I'm killing you because I haven't started yet. I'm so sorry, we're like 7 minutes in. Let's get going on this, shall we? All right, I'm gonna bring my Big Shot, which is my die cutting embossing machine, in front of me. And I'm gonna start with the mini Curvy Keepsakes box dies. So these are the dies. And you can see that there's not only the die for making the box, but there's all these little fun tags. There's some embellishment little pieces in there. We're gonna first just pull off the box die, and you're gonna notice like a big glare of brightness because I either have, if I have black or white in the camera, it tends to really glare. So there, we've muted it with our platform there. So when you're die cutting, you wanna set up your die cutting machine so that you can cut your cardstock. We're not doing embossing quite yet, but we will be doing embossing. So first let's run this through. This is pumpkin pie cardstock, and you only need a 5.5 by 5.5 piece. Good morning, Darlene from Janesville. Right in Minnesota with me. Awesome. All right, so let's grab that. This is what I cut. I cut a little box shape out of there, and you'll see how this forms into a really cute box in just a minute. Let us do one more piece though. I'm gonna slide it back through, and we're gonna grab the heart, and we're gonna die cut that on just a scrap of garden green cardstock. So we're using garden green and pumpkin pie. Great colors for fall. All right, so now that I've got those pieces mashed through here, hang on, there we go. Okay, so this is what the heart die looks like as it comes out. Now that I have those pieces done, in fact, you know what? I'm gonna die cut one more piece while we have the Big Shot out, and then I can get it out of my way. We're gonna be doing another box, so I'm just gonna get that one ready by cutting on my spiderweb paper. And I'm gonna show you this paper later, but let's just get this cut, and then we'll move it off to the side. Okay, we have all our pieces. Now let's get this, actually we're gonna emboss next. We're gonna emboss next. Hang on, we're not getting rid of this Big Shot yet. Okay, for the embossing, we need to first stamp on this because we want to, I'm gonna check on my little box here that I've done already. Okay, we wanna first stamp on this because if we're gonna emboss, we want to make sure that we can have a clear stamp image, and when you emboss first and then stamp, you're going to get little ripples, and your embossing or your stamping won't be full. So you're going to get like parts that don't stamp down, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this little message that says "with gratitude," and we're stamping that again. I got to peek at my cheat sheet thing here. Okay, we're stamping that right in the lower portion of this section. Like that, and I hope it's straight. Straight enough. All right, now we're gonna emboss this, and then we're gonna take our Big Shot and move it out of the way. So let's grab our embossing folder, and we're gonna set this up again. There, we'll zoom out a bit. So for the embossing, we do not want the magnetic platform because it's too thick. We're gonna grab just the platform that came with it with a die adapter and remove the die adapter. And because this folder is one of our thicker ones, we're gonna need this plus just one cutting mat, one cutting mat. Now, if we have the newer ones, because Stampin' Up! Is with a new company now, they're not with Sizzix anymore. If you have the newer one, this one I got when it was older, then you'll want to have the 3D die adapter cutting mat along with this. But this one will just require the regular thinner cutting mat. So let's take our paper and let's put it inside here, and it's so awesome. Look at that, it fits right inside. This is so great. So we're going to emboss this whole thing just to give it a little bit of texture. Hi Cheryl Alton. Hi Darlene Miller. Oh, thank you for sharing the video. Yay. All right, so I ran it through and now it has, and I'm going to try to hold this up high, and hopefully with the camera you'll be able to see a little bit of texture. It's kind of hard to tell. You know, that is the thing with Facebook Lives, the clarity of video is not that great, but hopefully you can tell there's a little bit of texture on there. It just makes it a little bit more fun. Now we're going to move this big honking machine onto the floor. There, we've moved it out of the way. Awesome. My desk is clear. Let's zoom in now. Okay, so for our first Curvy Keepsakes box, we're going to go ahead and just start curling the little ends here. There's 4 different parts that are going to fold in, and we're curling them with a bone folder by just taking the bone folder and your thumb together like this, putting the paper in between, and instead of trying to turn this hand, you just kind of rotate your hand that you have your bone folder in. Okay, and that gives it a curl. It also, so what it's doing when you curl cardstock is it's breaking the fibers of the paper inside, and it's allowing it to curl like that. If you were just to pull these back, it would probably, I don't know, have lots of fun tears and stuff, so it wouldn't be great. So as long as you've got this like that, then you can take and crease on the crease line. So there's 4 crease lines on the bottom here, score lines I should say, and you're just going to fold along there just to kind of reinforce the platform or the bottom of the box. Now you could stamp on the inside here, you could put some candy in there, whatever you want to do. The next creases that you're going to need are these top handles, and they are in there. There's little tiny creases inside. It's harder to see when you have embossed cardstock, but you're just going to pull these back like this. This is perfect for a class. You're right, Cheryl. So if you're a demonstrator, this is going to be the perfect fun little treat box to share at a Stampin' event. If you're not a demonstrator, you can be one. But if you're not a demonstrator and you have one that does parties, suggest this to them. Say, hey, show this at my next party. So that's how you put it together. It's super cute. Now, because I did this in pumpkin pie cardstock, it looks like a pumpkin, right? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more here. Okay, so what I've got here on the front is with gratitude. Now, I could have instead put like eyes on there, a mouth, like triangle eyes, triangle nose, that sort of thing. But instead, I want this pumpkin to be not scary. I don't want it to be a jack-o'-lantern. I kind of want it to relate to Thanksgiving because we have autumn-themed boxes that I'm sharing today, and this is my Thanksgiving one. So what I want to do next is take my green cardstock. So I've got the scrap of green that I die cut this little tag with. That's my heart tag. And I'm just going to cut into the top portion of the heart, and I'm going to pinch it together like this. Now again, because I want it to have a curve, I'm going to grab my bone folder and I'm going to give it a little bit of a curl like that. And then I'm going to take my glue dots and I'm just going to expose one of them, grab a glue dot right on that side there, and I'm going to overlap and connect. So what I've got here is I've got a fun little leaf for my pumpkin. And you could do a few of those if you want to. This scrap is not even. It's because I've already cut a triangular long strip out of it. And so what I'm doing is I'm just going to set it in my trimmer. And let's zoom out a tad here. I'm setting it in my trimmer and I'm just going to cut a real thin piece. And it doesn't matter what the width is. I just want it to go from about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch down to like nothing, down to a point. So we'll start at the 1/4 inch end and then we'll just run it straight through, and that's good. That's good enough. We've got a strip and it goes from wider to narrower. We're going to grab our bone folder again. So autumn colors are your favorite, Catherine? Oh, that's great. This is your best time of year then, right? I love it. Warm colors. You like the warm colors. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm curling my cardstock and I'm really emphasizing the curls because I want it to curl up really tight. So the next thing I'm going to do, and I forgot to grab that, I'm just going to go back here for a minute, is I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to start with the narrowest end and I'm going to wrap and wrap and wrap around my pencil real tight like this. And I have a feeling I kind of overdid it, so I might have to do this again. Oh, it's not too bad. Yay. Okay. So now I've got my little, what I call a tendril. You guys know what tendrils are if you're gardeners, right? I didn't. I thought it was a tendril and then I had to look it up to make sure. So this is a little tendril. So what you're going to do next is you're going to take a glue dot and you're going to put it on the end, the wide end. Or you're going to, remove some cardstock from it when you try to pick it up. We'll try that again. So we're going to put it on there and then we're going to dig our fingernail underneath to grab that glue dot on there. And on our side that says with gratitude, we're just going to slip this underneath. So right in that gap there, the box top gap, we're going to slip that underneath and we're going to pinch it down so that it's sticking to this top flap like that. Okay, but I did it while it was together because I wanted to make sure that the tendril ended up in the right place. So now I can kind of manipulate that, and if I want to, I could even put in fact I'm going to, because this one's kind of it's a little out of control. It's not as tame as my other one. So I'm going to roll off another glue dot, and I'm just going to stick it right here on the side, and stick my tendril down right there. There, now it's kind of staying in place. And then my other green piece, my leaf, is going to get stuck on with another glue dot off to the side like this. And now I've got my super cute little pumpkin box. Ta-da! So hopefully people can tell it's a pumpkin. This is my other one, but I don't know if I want to share it because I really messed up on this one. This one not only is torn at the top because I was being kind of rough when I put it together. You can see the tear there. Thanks, you guys. The front, I forgot to stamp before I put it together. In fact, you know what? I still have one more step on this. But anyways, I forgot to stamp this before I did the embossing. And so I did a separate piece and just laid it on top. So you can kind of see that there's like a cut there. It doesn't perfectly line up. There's an extra little layer on top. Now you can see it. So shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, and the last little step on here is just to add some extra pumpkin pie ink, and that's to give it even more texture because the embossing adds texture itself. But if you come along here and you just kind of, whoops, you kind of throw it in your ink pad, you kind of just brush it like this along the edges, you get some nice deep darkening, it just gives it some shading. And you can do this before you assemble, which probably would be easier. Or you can do it after and you just open it back up again, which is what I'm going to do real quick here. So, lesson to be learned, you guys. This flap can tear. Oh, now there you go. I love it. I love it, you guys. Okay, so don't put the glue dot on the side. We're going to do a different tendril because this one's in a little rough shape already. So don't glue it on the side because you won't be able to open your box. All right, there, lesson learned. That was a last minute decision anyways. I wasn't going to do that originally. because I was smarter before I started this broadcast. Okay, so now we're just sponging a little bit more through here, and you'll be able to see how it really, see, isn't that lovely? It just gives it a little bit more shadow, depth, and you can see when you're in person, because again, Facebook Live videos aren't the clearest, but you can see in person there's more like depth to the actual embossing when you add the shadow. Okay, so maybe we can just remove it for now, just so you can see it come back together. There. All right, so the next box I'm going to do is Halloween related. So this one's more on the spooky side. We'll close this one in first. This one's more on the spooky side. It is using our Monster Bash suite of products. And the Monster Bash suite of products has some fun designer paper to it. So I'm going to show you, if you haven't seen it yet. There, our pumpkin's done. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show you that designer paper, and I've been using a lot of it. So you were expecting that, Phyllis? Oh, if only you could have said something out loud to me while I was doing it, right? That's funny. I bet a few of you caught that already. Okay, so I've been using this paper a ton. I'm loving it. And so I don't have full 12 by 12 pieces to share right now of every single sheet. There's only 3 sheets that I have 12 by 12s. So these are 3 of 3 of the designs. 3 of 3. 3 of 6 of the designs on one side and on the other. Lots of fun patterns there. And then these are the other designs, which I have smaller pieces of. So you can see bats and all kinds of fun stuff. And then this side here. Okay, so we're using the spider webs, and we've already cut that piece, and it looks like this, right? So before we actually assemble the box, we're going to put something on the inside. This is going to be the inside of our box, and I'm going to move that off to the side so you'll be able to see this a little bit better this time. I think it really depends on the papers that I'm using, if I want that grid paper underneath me or not. And I think for this one, it's easier to see without the grid paper. You guys chime in real loud if you disagree. How do I store my sponges? Mary Jo asked, how do I store my sponges? I put them in an embroidery floss container. Okay, so now that I've got them curled, I'm going to press on these creases. All right, so now I've got that ready to go for assembly. But before I assemble it, I told you I was going to do something on the inside. So that's where those other pieces come in that I was telling you about. I had on the measurement sheet, I have a black piece and I have a white piece. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer one more time and do a close-up real quick, because I want to teach you some math. All right, all of you that do not like math, try to pay attention to this, because the measurements are very detailed on my measurement sheet. In fact, let's just flip back there for just a second. Let me, oops, I have to set this up again. Hang on. Okay. All right, so the measurement sheet had, for our Monster Bash version, our spider web box, you can see it says 1 7/16. Right? All you math lovers. I love math, so this to me is really exciting. 1 7/16 by 1 7/16. Okay, so we know it's a square. And the white is also a square, 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. But do you notice here in parentheses, I did a little thing here to help you out. So if you take and double these two numbers, you double the 3 and you double the 8, this is the same as saying 1 6/16. Okay, so over here we have 1 6/16, and up here we have 1 7/16. So it's a difference between a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, all right, we're back to the table. So when you look on here, here is 1.5 inches. It's this mark, and this little tiny mark right before it is a 1/16 of an inch. So that's where you want to cut for your black. And for your white, you're going to go one more in, and that's your 6/16. Or, like we said, your 3/8 of an inch, which a lot of you know because it's a bigger, it's a wider space. Okay, so there's our two measurements, and you kind of have to do that for this verse. So here are the two stamp sets I'm using on these two boxes. I am using, and we got to zoom out again because this is way too big. There we go. I'm using Itty Bitty Greetings, which I did on my first box, the With Gratitude. Okay, this one has a lot of great little tiny stamp set images to use on lots of projects. I love this one. It's one of my go-to sets. And then for this box, we're going to use the Monster Bash Suite stamp set, which is called Spooktacular Bash. I'm using this one right here, the Eat, Drink, and Be Scary one. So if you weren't going to use that sentiment, you could totally go down smaller with your paper size that goes inside here, but I needed this to be as big as possible. So we're going to ink this up. We're going to turn this on into a diamond shape like that, okay? So that, because, well, you'll see when I put the paper underneath it again. So we're inking up our stamp, and we're going to hover this right over the top, and hopefully, because I can't really lean into the camera very well, hopefully we're getting it right where we need to get it. If not, we have two sides, but we did it. We did it, you guys. Yay! Hi, Sonia. All right, so there's Eat, Drink, and Be Scary, and we got it right in that tiny space. We'll use our Snail adhesive, or you could use glue dots or whatever. Adhesive of your choice. Multi-purpose liquid glue, Snail, tear and tape. There's all kinds of adhesives to pick from. I like glue dots for tendrils, obviously. Okay, now we're going to take and put our snail. It's so funny. I'm laughing because last week, if you guys were with me, I made a major mistake on my measurements. And then today, I made a mistake on gluing my tendril down. Okay, so I'm folding this back a bit because it's harder to see the score lines. It's easier to see on this side, but it's harder to see on this side, even for me. Okay, so I'm gonna just go like that, and I'm putting it on at an angle because you can see the design. The design, when I cut it out, has these little people going up and down in this direction, right? So that's why I wanted to make sure I stamped in that direction. Now we can close this up. Candy, right? You want to put candy in there or something. Put something healthy in there, like jewelry, and then give it to me for Halloween. Okay, so there's our box, but it's not finished yet because it has spider webs on it. We need to add a spider. And I shared this little spider with a group of mine, some paper pumpkin people that I know. And so I'm going to show you a smaller version of this spider. This one is using the regular size daisy punch and the 1-inch circle punch. And I've got some adhesive backing on the back with our new black dimensionals. Those are new in the holiday catalog too. So many fun new things, you guys. If you did not see a bunch of the new stuff, you can go to my exclusive group. I don't have like a little link to it, but on my Facebook page at Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel, which is where you're at, there's a group section, and you click on groups, and then you can choose to be added to that group. I'm adding everyone. It's fun. It's a party. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty mellow in the group right now because it's been summer and I haven't been very active in there. But I'm doing some videos in there that I don't do anywhere else. And one of them is a box opening that I did with some holiday catalog product. Sorry, trying to get that off the screen again. So you can go there and you can check out a lot of the new goodies that I got. So, of course, the paper's in there, the black dimensionals, the mini keepsakes box. Okay, so let's grab our punches. We're going to use the smaller version of the daisy punch, and we're going to use the 1/2-inch circle punch and some scrap basic black cardstock. So let's punch our daisy. And oops, we need one more piece from there. And let's punch our 1/2 circle. So your budget's going out the window. I'm sorry, Eileen. All right, and then we're going to grab our paper snips and we're going to cut. We're going to cut our daisy into quarters. So this is a very, very innocent spider, not the kind that you find lurking in your bathtub in the morning when you wake up. We had one in our bathroom this morning, but I love spiders because they eat all those other little insects in the house. And so I do not destroy my spiders. I let them outside, or I leave them be if my kids or my husband do not notice them. I don't want them to notice them, so I don't even make a big deal about it. I just say, oh, hello, spider, and then I leave it alone, because that's the way I am. I'm a spider lover. Sorry. So now we're going to put this one right next to it on the back side. And you noticed I put Snail all over the back as much as I could. And those legs are really close together on this one side. So on the other side, which I still have to put a little bit more adhesive on, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to try to make them go on the exact opposite side so that there's a gap, a wider gap here than here. All right, because that's where you have the head and the tail, head and abdomen of our spider, of our arachnid. There we go. So there's our spider. We're going to grab our dimensionals, maybe. I'm going to go back here because I think I put them, yep, there they are. Okay, hang on, grabbing them. So we're going to grab our black dimensionals because our black dimensionals will allow us to not, see that? Isn't that cool? So you can't see that white in there anymore. It's going to be awesome. Before I peel the backing off though, we want to put some little eyeballs on him. And another new product that we have are these googly eyes. They are assorted googly eyes. The, what color? I have white on those. Okay. We'll stick with white because they're easier to see. So we're going to grab 2 of the small ones. There's like a couple different sizes in here. And there's the grape color, the pumpkin pie color, and I believe that is granny apple green. Lots of fun eyes. And we're going to grab our glue dots. And if you're not down to the end of your glue dots, and some of you that get a lot of glue dots can relate, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you get down to the end of your roll, they really start to flatten out and get wider. So if you're not down to the complete end of your roll, the glue dots will work just fine to add these eyeballs. Otherwise, get a whole new box of glue dots. Okay, so there's our 2 eyeballs. And the tinier the spider, the harder it is to fit those little eyeballs on that little guy. But that's good. Okay, now that we've got the dimensional on the back and we've got our eyeballs here, we can hold it really tight and be really careful as we curl those legs down a bit, because he's going to curve across the box. And the box is already rounded, so we want to make sure that our spider is a little bit rounded. So we'll peel this backing off, and we'll just tuck him right up like that so it looks like he's coming out of the box. So fun, right? Yes, he's a cute spider, Roseanne. Thank you so much for saying that. He's not scary. So I like my Halloween to be cute. My husband, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. He loves scary movies. I don't know what's wrong with him. So here, I'm going to bring those boxes out so you can see them so far. So that's what we did. Now I'm going to show you another one. This one is a box that we got to make at my upline. The person who I signed up to be a demonstrator under, she had an event, and we got to make this little box out of some of the new products. So this is a new stamp set. There's an apple punch, which also punches out pumpkin shape stamp images too. And then of course we put a little tag on there. And so there's another version of the box. And then this next one that I share with you, I'm not going to make the whole thing, which is why I didn't give you the supplies for it, but I am going to show you a couple steps because it's going to lead us to the next thing I want to talk about. So I've cut 2 of these now with crumb cake cardstock. And so we're going to curve it, and we're going to fold it, and we're going to fold it here. You can see how quick these are to put together. They'd be great for like wedding favors. Maybe not the spider version, but you could do like wedding favors out of really, really pretty papers, white paper, that sort of thing. Okay, so I've closed them up, and all you do is just put those little flaps right over the top. And now this one, I'm going to cut along the score line. We're not going to do the whole thing. I'm warning you. So even though you might like what I show you at the end, I'm not giving you full directions for it. I'm sorry. But that's because it's related to a project that I did for my Stampin' Anonymous tutorial which you can get by ordering from me this month. In the month of September, you get it emailed to you for free. Anytime you order from me in any of the months, you get that month's tutorial for free. You can also purchase the tutorials. So if you're a demonstrator or you don't want to buy any product, you can certainly purchase the tutorials, and that information is on my blog. Okay, so now that I've curled these little pieces, now I'm going to cut them. So I'm going to, actually, I'm going to cut them. So we're going to cut an inch in to the middle, and then as we cut along here, we're going to try to kind of curve so that they go with the shape of the outer edge. So what we have here is like fringe. Okay, we used to carry the scissors, and I forget what they called it. Maybe it was called the fringe scissors, but here I'm right-handed. I have to curve this way. But it made like fun grass and stuff like that. So now that I've got that done, I can take my sponge and I can take my soft suede ink and my grid paper. We'll just throw this in here really quick, and we can just kind of pounce it to give it kind of a dirty look, and then brush the ends like that. And then as we curve this around again, we can also curve a little bit up on the ends like this, so it looks like it's kind of getting beaten up down there. And then we just cut off this portion right here because we don't need that. We're going to grab our multi-purpose liquid glue, which I don't have with me right now, but we're going to glue that into the box like that. And it's going to be done on all four sides. And so it eventually ends up looking like this. So what this is, and I hope you can guess before I tell you, my son could, it is a broom. So we have a little broom here. It says trick or treat. That message also comes from the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. So I just stamped it along the handle of the broom. In the tutorial, I give hints how to make the handle so that it can slide off and on. And I also have a project that's similar. It's another autumn themed box, but it has a similar, like you apply a shape to it and you get a really fun looking gift box, a little treat box. So anyways, so there's that. And we're gonna open this back up, slip our handle in, open these back up. So there, I hope you enjoyed that fun idea too. I don't know how to get them in the camera so that they're best seen because they have to be kind of angled, don't they? There, can we go like that? And then maybe Facebook will take a quick snapshot of all of these. Or you can take a snapshot, a little screenshot of them. I hope that you enjoyed them. We have to draw for prizes before I let you go. All right. So if you're thinking of ordering, again, the tutorial is going to be free with your order any month that you do that. These are the prizes, the prize options for today. I'll zoom out a bit so you can see them better. So Most Wonderful Time is a stamp set that only comes in a medley of products that's $70 in value. So if you're only liking the stamp set, they gave us 2 of these on our incentive trip and they said keep it. So we kept it, but I have an extra stamp set. I already have this one. So I would love to give it away to somebody who wants it, which is why I'm giving you a choice of 3 if you're the winner. Another stamp set that you can choose from is Perfectly Plaid. I believe I have 2 of those too. Yes, I have 2 of those. And then this one here, Tags, Tags, Tags. Very fun. It has coordinating dies. This one has coordinating punches. This one, again, if you don't like anything else that's in the medley, then you have the perfect opportunity to nab that stamp set up. All right, so what's from last week? We're going to draw the winner from that last week first, and that's the second person is going to get Magnolia Blooms. So let me set up my computer really quick, and we're going to do a refresh. Hang on a minute. Oops. You know what? I need someone here to control these for me. Let's just take this one off, that one on, this one on. There, you can't see what I'm doing, but oh, there we go. Yay, I did it. Okay, so on the Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel Facebook page, we're going to do a refresh of the screen. Thanks, you guys. Thank you. This sure was fun. I sure love doing this every Wednesday. And I'll be back next Wednesday too, because my kids are in school. Freedom! Okay, I love having them home, but I'll tell you, it's really nice having them at school too. All right, so we're going to go to the videos. And we're going to scroll up and we're going to grab this fun little link and put it into our comment picker app. Oh, wait, we're not doing this week's. We're doing last week's. We're doing last week's first. That gives everybody a chance to say something. Okay, so we're going to copy the link from last week's instead. I lied. There's a lot of ads. Can you see that? There's a lot of ads on this website. That's because it's free. Thank you, Comment Picker, for letting me use this for free. Yes, you can put ads on there while I'm demonstrating. Okay, so we have 213 people that commented on last week's video. Let's draw for the prize winner. Now, if your name is drawn and I can't link to your name when I click on it, Kelly Travers Wentworth, way to go. Let's try clicking on her name. If it doesn't link directly to your comment, Kelly, then you need to reach out to me because I have no way of getting in touch with you. It didn't go directly to your comment. I'm bummed. There's 486 comments. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to find you. But please try to reach me. If I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, then the prize is forfeited. Just because I can't keep holding on to hoping that you'll reach me. I'll try to find you though. You try to find me, I'll try to find you. If anybody knows her, let me know. So again, that was Kelly Travers Wentworth. Okay, then for this week's video, we're gonna do a refresh here. Oops, sorry, we're on the wrong page. That one was about my boys. Okay, hang on. I was on my personal Facebook page. Let's go to, we don't have a back button. Where's my back button? Oh, that's because I don't, there, blah, 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 blah. There we go. Found it. All right, we're gonna refresh the page. Autumn themed. We're clicking on it now, you guys. Are you ready? Congratulations to the winner. Yes, please let me know if you know her so that I can reach out to her. Copy the link. Go to random comment picker. Put the link in there. Okay, how many people commented on today's video while we're doing this live? 116 of you have commented. Thank you so much for joining me, 116 of you. That's awesome. Let's pick the first winner, and then next week we'll pick the second winner, okay? So the first winner gets to choose from those 3 stamp sets. Missy Blair Ring, I think that's how you say it. Awesome. Let's see if we can click on your name and reach out to you. Please, oh please, oh please let this work. I love it when it actually goes to that person's comment, and it did. So I will be able to get a hold of Missy. I'm so glad. Yay! Congratulations to both of you for winning. And thank you all for joining me on this Wednesday afternoon. Again, it was 11 a.m. Central Time. That's the time that I broadcast, and I try to do it weekly. Summers are tough, but I got 4 in this summer. Crazy. So sad. Kind of embarrassing, but I got 4 in. And now I'm going to try to keep going weekly. So I will see you again next week. That would be Wednesday, September 11th at 11 a.m. And I've already got my project planned. I think you're going to love it. It's an alternate box from one of the boxes that's in the holiday catalog. Thank you for joining me. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.